G'day YouTube, this is Warbles on a lot here, making a short little clip about psychiatry and psychology. Those of you who've been watching for a while understand that I'm a registered general nurse by training, and on the shelf we've got psychic massage, we've got psychology of human behaviour, and under that we've got psychiatry and anti-psychiatry. And there we have psychiatric nursing. So it's not as if I'm entirely unread upon the subject. And during third year A block, when we were studying psychiatry and psychology and neurology and endocrinology, I actually scored 100% in the exams in psychiatry and psychology. So, I've had some formal training, not a lot, just enough to be sister in charge of the hospital in a town of 600 people, 26 miles from the nearest ambulance, and on the weekend from the nearest doctor. But most of my personal learnings in psychiatry and psychology come from my own encounters with psychologists and psychiatrists. And what I've determined or discovered or stumbled upon is the fact that they've got some good theories based on some good observations. But in order to diagnose a dysfunctional, aberrant individual who presents in their office, the psychologist or the psychiatrist requires an accurate history in order to apply their theory. That may sound self-evident, but my personal experience indicates that people who have a deep, dark, life-changing incident buried in their past are highly unlikely to consciously recognise that that is what they need to tell their therapist or their diagnostician. It just doesn't happen. Okay? So I never had much particular help in dealing with the way I am, doled out by the psychologists and the psychiatrists. Okay? Psychologists once said to me, look, every time you think there's an opportunity to dive into a conversation and say something funny or witty, just count to 7 and then the opportunity will pass, and therefore you won't say it, and thus and because you won't irritate people so much. Yeah? That was helpful. Psychiatrist said, there's no way you and your wife can have a happy marriage. Stay separated and get an instant divorce. I didn't listen to him. In the intervening years after I didn't listen to the psychiatrist who told me to get a divorce, I had many occasions where the trouble and strife got to talk to the therapist first and set the tone in the therapist's mind. I would go in, and after she had said, my husband is obsessed with a conflict caused by the separation, the therapist would say unto me, Mr. Warbles on a lot, what are your concerns regarding your wife and children? Well, that could uncap some pretty intense, detailed, passionately delivered information. And the therapist would think, shit, she's right. He's obsessed. But what really used to screw it up was that no psychologist nor psychiatrist can accurately listen to what is being said, comprehend it, and simultaneously write down what they think they heard 2 sentences ago. Alright? So I actually lost custody for 4 years on the basis of a fantasy that I never said anyway. And it took me another 5 years to rescue the kids, after the psychiatrist couldn't keep up with what I was saying. Shit, that was helpful. It was only when I thought to take a 6 or 7 page typewritten personal patient history and give it to a psychiatrist at the start of the interview that I ever got anything like a reasonable diagnosis. Which probably isn't what Foolish Productions wants to hear, and it won't be what Recovering Zombie wants to know, but Loreleli is probably already aware. Ciao.